I secretly loved him for 10 years. Never thought that even having his child was a mistake. He pushed me onto the operating table himself, saying, anyone in this world can have my baby, except you. Jason Smith, no, don't do this. But Jason Smith wouldn't allow her to resist, keeping her trapped. The more she struggled, the more tightly Jason Smith controlled her. He leaned close to her ear and whispered, if you want your mom to hear, go ahead and yell. Complain to her about your current situation, and let her know how great it is for you being with me. If you help her fulfill her wish. He paused here and then added, she should be thrilled. Jason Smith's words made her realize, sending a chill down her spine. She felt a rush of cold sweat, alternating between hot and cold. But she immediately bit her lip, forcing herself not to make a sound. She endured the pain until the end, when Jason Smith ruthlessly threw her backward. She collapsed to the ground like useless garbage, tossed aside by him. Isabel Lopez, you did everything, now please leave. Please leave. As soon as he called her name, she calmly spoke. Her voice carried no warmth, making his heart skip a beat. He froze for a moment, then quickly composed himself, took 2 steps forward, and called out to the outside. Someone, clean up the young lady. On the day of the funeral, Miss Isabel doesn't need to go. Keep an eye on her. Yes, sir. Someone immediately came over and responded respectfully. After finishing his words, Jason Smith walked straight out. On the day of the funeral, she wouldn't need to go. She really wanted to argue like before, but now, she didn't want to. She just decided to go along with him. She truly didn't want her mother to witness what just happened during the burial. Otherwise, she would definitely go mad. Miss, let me clean you up, the maid said, stepping forward to help her. But Isabel Lopez pushed her away. No need, I can do it. I'm still a woman, and she understood her situation. Who doesn't care about their appearance? So, she pretended not to know anything and stepped aside, letting her clean up herself. But unexpectedly, next, she collapsed backward onto the memorial altar. Miss! Someone! The miss has fainted! With that shout, Isabel Lopez was rushed to the hospital. Jason Smith hadn't gone far and followed her to the hospital, being pushed into the operating room. Sorry, sir, you can't go in. Please wait for news outside the operating room. Jason Smith was stopped at the door. Oh. Realizing too late, he stepped back, allowing them to close the door. About half an hour later, the light in the operating room went out, and the doctor came out. Doctor, how is she? Seeing the doctor walking out, Jason Smith immediately stepped forward and asked, the patient is fine now, but her emotions have been unstable lately. With such intense activity, my suggestion is to remove the baby. Baby? Jason Smith didn't expect such an explanation. He said, she is pregnant. Yes, Mr. Jason, the patient is pregnant now, the doctor said. It's the 3rd week. The 3rd week? That must have been when he went home to get the documents, and she got angry? Although he had said that earlier. With all the grudges between them, if this child really came, it would certainly not have a happy future. He also found it hard to accept. Keeping her by his side already felt like he was betraying his father. Well, can this baby be removed? Jason Smith asked. This. The doctor was unsure why he would ask this. Generally, at this age, who wouldn't want a baby? Mr. Jason, Miss Isabel's physical condition isn't great, and if she keeps the baby, she will need bed rest. It's her first pregnancy, and if she doesn't keep it, she might never be able to have children again. She may never have her own children in this life. The operating room door was wide open now, and Isabel Lopez had already woken up in a daze. As her mind cleared a little, she heard Jason Smith say seriously, I've decided. Let's remove this child. The doctor had already mentioned in the operating room that the baby was 3 weeks old. Although she was surprised and her mind had trouble processing it, she hadn't considered the possibility of a miscarriage yet. Sure enough, men are all the same. They are so heartless. This is his child, and he can just say no, without hesitation, even when the doctor says this might mean she can never have her own children in the future. He doesn't even consider it. Her heart was dead. She had imagined many times what it would be like to have this child in her life, but none of those fantasies were anything like this. The voices outside quickly disappeared, and it grew silent. She was pushed out by the nurse. As she passed by Jason Smith, she still struggled to ask, do you really want to get rid of this child? Her voice was weak and hoarse, and it was clear that her remaining strength was almost gone. There was a small inner struggle, but soon, without holding anything back, he said, "This child shouldn't come into this world, Isabel Lopez. Anyone can give me, Jason Smith, a child, but not you. Only you cannot." He said this child shouldn't come into this world. He said, "Anyone can give me, Jason Smith, a child, but not you. Only you cannot." After hearing such words, she knew for sure he would find any way to ensure the child wouldn't stay. With just her own ability, there was no way she could keep it. "Jason Smith, this is your child," she said it flatly, but it felt like it took all the strength she had left. She spoke again, to remind him. She knew that the grievances between them made it unsuitable to have a child, but now, here it was, a life. If he would soften, she would have kept this child. "Stop talking, I already told the doctor. The surgery will be in 2 days." This was the response she got. Isabel Lopez gripped the bedsheet with both hands, finally closing her eyes. Her mother had already passed away, and now she was the only one left. Now, she couldn't even keep the child. It seemed like her heart had already found a direction, so her eyes were dry, without tears, only a slight stinging pain. Isabel Lopez was sent into a VIP hospital room. "Miss Isabel, you should rest a bit. I'll go get some medicine and change your drip." Isabel Lopez didn't respond, only nodded gently, her eyes fixed on the white ceiling above. When she learned that Aunt Megan was going to bring her some supplements, she asked her to bring over the bag that had been placed in her room. It was a vegetable-colored package that hadn't been opened yet. The maid didn't think much of it, took it, and brought it over. That day, Isabel Lopez was calmer than ever before. Her temper was better, and she didn't make the maid work hard to feed her. "All right, Aunt Megan. I think I'm fine now. You can go back to your work," Isabel Lopez said. Miss, take care of yourself. I'll come see you tomorrow morning." "Okay." Aunt Megan packed up and left. The room quickly returned to silence. Isabel Lopez took the bag, held it in her hands, and stared at it for a long time before finally opening it. "Baby, I'm sorry. It may not be a good thing for you to come into this world. Don't be afraid. Mommy will be with you." Half an hour later, a nurse came in for a routine check. She saw Isabel Lopez lying peacefully in bed. Miss Isabel, Miss Isabel." However, no matter how much she called, there was no response. She nervously reached out to check her breath, but couldn't feel anything. Someone. Miss Isabel isn't breathing. Hurry."